Hello and welcome to the moment that you have all been waiting for. The special edition of the Reliable. Hello and welcome to the moment that you have all been waiting for. The special edition of the Reliable Representation Talk Show Political Edition. This evening, we will hear from several candidates that are placing their bid to serve the great people of Mississippi. Hello and welcome to the moment that you have all been waiting for. The special edition of the Reliable Representation Talk Show Political Edition. This evening, we will hear from several candidates that are. Hello and welcome to the moment that you have all been waiting for. The special edition of the Reliable Representation Talk Show Political Edition. This evening, we will hear from several candidates that are placing their bid to serve the great people of Mississippi and Hinds County. Tune in, ask questions so that you can make an informed decision about who will be representing you next year and the years to come. This evening, but I am now logged in. Hello, welcome to the Reliable Representation Show. This is a special political candidate forum that we're going to be having. So thank you so much. Hey, Crystal, Monique, Celestial, Griffin, Mary Briley. It's so great to have every single person here. Tag your friends, get them on in here. We have a very, very exciting show this evening. We're going to be talking to some of the great candidates that are running for office right here in Hinds County, as well as in the state of Mississippi. We're going to have supervisor candidates. We're going to have Senate candidates, House of Representative candidates. And we are even going to have the candidate for Attorney General and Mississippi Agricultural Commission commissioner. So definitely, please come on in. We just got finished watching the governor's debate on 16 WAPT. It was a really good debate. I'm so glad that that happened and people got to tune in and kind of see where our candidates stand on the issues. Hello to you, Timothy Brown. I hope you are doing great. And if you have any questions, please put your questions in the comment box. While the candidates are up speaking, they will answer the questions that you have. And so we're just going to give people just another moment to get in here. We have our first candidate, which is Mr. Jonathan Pund, running for Hinds County District 5 Supervisor. He will be taking the stage at exactly 8:10. So hang around for 6 more minutes so we can allow Mr. Jonathan Pund an opportunity to come on here and tell us why he is the man for the job in District 5. All right, you're doing good, Timothy. That's so great. And how is everybody else doing? Did anybody else get a chance to tune into the debate on Channel 16 this evening? And just kind of let us know how it is. Give us a little bit of feedback, and we are going to dig into that debate after the show. So after all the candidates have spoken, we are going to have a Q&A session where we're going to talk a little bit about that debate and about any other questions that you may have. Our candidates are each going to have 10 minutes to state their platform. In that time, they're going to state the platform and answer questions that you may have. If you have additional questions, you can stick around. And at the end of the show, we're going to open it up and bring everybody back on the stage. All right. Thank you so much, Crystal Monique. Please like and follow our new page, y'all. That is my co-host, the very lovely, very amazing Crystal Monique. She's not able to be here with us tonight because she went to get her hair done for the show tomorrow. So she got to be looking GQ when we get on the radio tomorrow at 6 o'clock on WMPR. See, Crystal, I'm going to tell all your business. You know how I do it. You know, transparency matters. So I'm going to let everybody know you're getting your hair done. It's going to be silky smooth tomorrow when we get on the radio.
Hey there, Janitra Robinson. How you doing? Thank you so much for always tuning in and supporting us. We have a great lineup. We have a very, very good show this evening. We have some amazing candidates that are coming to state their platform. And what I want to say to everybody is I have so much respect for all of the candidates that accepted the invitation to come out this evening because they're showing us that they are ready to serve. They're ready to get in front of audiences and tell why they're the good people for the jobs. That's what we need. We have to elect people that are ready to face the issues and be vocal about the things, that matter. They don't know any of the questions, they don't know anything. They just say, "Hey, I want to show up." And to me, that's what it's all about. We want people that's going to show up for us. I know that people are busy, have other things going on, but the fact that these candidates took their time to come and talk to us and come and get their message out to the voters, that means so much to me. As a candidate myself, I always try to make sure that I was available, to my constituents to kind of let them know how I stand on the issues. Ms. Pund, we need people that want to serve. Ms. Pund, I definitely agree with you. We have to have people that are ready to serve. Truly public servants is what we need. That's the only way things are going to get better. We have to have people that want to serve the public and not serve themselves and not serve their pockets, because that has been the problem that we're experiencing not only in Hinds County, not only in Mississippi, nationwide. We do not have true public servants anymore, and we are going to change that. Right now, Mississippi is on the verge of going through some really great things if we go out and elect the right people on November 7th. If we elect the right people on November 7th, there are going to be some great changes in Mississippi, changes that we really need and changes that we deserve, because we deserve, so much better. And so, what I am going to do, I think I told you guys that we're going to have Michael Pund. He's running for Hinds County Supervisor, District 5. I'm going to go ahead on and bring him on up on the stage. He's 2 minutes early. So, Mr. Pund, you're going to have about 2 extra minutes to talk. So, I hope he's ready. I'm going to bring him up right now. So, hang on. Let me see. And we have our candidate, Mr. Jonathan Pund for Hinds County District 5. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Welcome to the Reliable Representation Talk Show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
No problem. It is my pleasure. I want to get everybody in front of the voters, because it's important that the voters hear directly from the candidates where they stand on the issues, and that our voters know who it is that they're voting for, instead of just voting for a person on a piece of paper.
Right. Exactly. We've done that too long.
Yeah, we've done it for too long. Oh, I like the name. It sounds familiar. Okay, check.
Exactly.
So we're going to stop there. So I am going to turn it over to you so you can talk to the voters. And if I get any questions come in, I'll flash them up there and let you know.
Okay. Appreciate it.
No problem. It's all yours.
All right. First, I want to thank you for having me and having this. Actually, we can't have too much communication, especially during these times of deciding on who we're voting for. So this is perfect. I appreciate the opportunity, and appreciate you putting the time and effort into bringing this to pass. So again, my name is Jonathan Pond, and I am running for Hinds County Supervisor, District 5. And a little bit about me: I live in District 5, of course, but I live out in the county. A lot of people has asked that. Well, do you live out here where the problems are? Yes, I do. so, um, so yeah, I've been asked why I'm running, and the best answer, of course, there's a lot, but the best answer I can think of is I didn't want to move, and I was tired of complaining. So when you pair those two things up, my only other option was to run to make a difference. So we want to make District 5 a place to call home that we're proud of. And so I'm tired of people saying that they're, people we know, and seeing the for sale signs going up, and you ask if you got a job out of state. No, I'm just moving over to Rankin County. Well, let's make Hinds County better, and so we won't have all the good folks that live here have to move. So more about me. I know that's what this is about, is my platform, I guess, if you want to call it that, to why I'm running, the reasons that I, the highest things on the list that need improvement is bringing more accountability. I think you mentioned that a second ago, bringing more accountability but to the annual budget is a big thing. And then just to District 5 in general, to Hinds County in general, I think there's a lack of communication, which gives a lack of accountability. And I don't mean just from the supervisor position. I mean, across the board. So I can't ask people that work for me as the supervisor to be accountable to me if I'm not accountable to them. So it's got to go both ways. So of course the budget needs a lot of work, needs improvement, but in that, we need to bring economic development to Hinds County, and particularly District 5. One place that is just wide open and waiting is the Wendell Industrial Park. There's no reason why we shouldn't be pushing for economic development in there. So that's something that I want to make sure it comes to pass. That will, of course, bring better jobs for the people that live here, and also it will fund the budget to where we can not only improve the budget but grow the budget. So, and we want to be ahead of the curve. We don't want to wait till anybody says, "Oh, well, there's land over here available. We want to come in over here just because it's available." No, we want to pick our companies that we want here in Hinds County. We want to go to them and say, you know what, our residents want you here. Our residents want to work for a company like yours. Instead of just, whoever wants to come in kind of thing. Of course, anybody that wants to come in, we'll have an open ear and invite them in, over the right circumstances. But I would rather be ahead of the curve. And that way we get to pick, what grows around us, and, what we look like in 10 years and 20 years. So, without that, 5, 10 and 20 year plan, we're just floating along and getting what is handed to us. And that's no way to run a county. So, some other issues is, better upkeep of all things concerning our county roads. Obviously, that's a hot topic. Everybody has problems with their, something. I could name several things on my road. I could, name several things any direction I go. So I've told a lot of people that, and I stand by that, is the safety issues with the roads is number one. We've gotten to a point where there's safety issues that need to be fixed before we can even get back to regular maintenance. Now, a double approach. So while we're out there fixing the safety issues, let's fix the other things as well. But there's a lot of safety issues, and during my campaign, it's amazing the things that people has pointed out. Well, over here, you can't see the stop sign. Over here, you can't see the stop ahead. Over here, the road floods. Over here, so all those things combined, we need to get safety under control first for our residents and make it a safer place to drive, and then get back to regular maintenance as well. And I think we can pair those up and do them at the same time most of the time. So some other issues that I plan on hitting is support for all of our county employees. We can't run a county without employees. So I think our county employees have been forgotten. On a wide spectrum. So anybody that's employed by the county, it will be under my influence to help them. And so that's a priority in my opinion. And that's something I plan to do. Whether it be raises or, all the way down the list, what can we do, at their job site, where they're going to work every day, all the way down the list. What can we do to help our employees? Because if they're not productive, we're not productive as a county. So, So that's a big point. Of course, we've had a lot of parks close, and so we need to get back to taking care of things for the kids, whether it be parks or um, you know things for them to do on a county level. I know we've been leaning on the cities to do a lot of things, bring in soccer fields and that kind of thing, but the county needs to have that in mind as well, and make it a safer place. Excuse me, a safer place for all families, but also in the public areas like parks and such for our kids. Um, we've got the topic of better cooperation between supervisors. My background goes to a lot of management position, and low level, mid level, and upper level management in companies. And all along the way, you have to work with others for them to work with you. And so you can't turn it into a control thing, and you also can't go along to get along. That's both of those extremes don't work. You have to work together and put your constituents out there, put them first. And because it's not about us personally, right? It's not about us supervisors personally. When I become a supervisor, it's not about me. So if you have a problem with me, you're looking in the wrong place, as far as the other supervisors go. So you're focused on the wrong thing. So we all have to pull together, work for the people, and get it done. So working, I guess that leads me to the next point, is working with people. They call this the day and age of communication, and it seems like we're the opposite in Hinds County. And so there's way too many things out there, way too many programs and ways to communicate like this right now that we're streaming on, 3 or 4 different platforms, and all at the same time. So there's way too many ways to communicate for Hinds County to be dragging along the way it has been as far as communicating with the residents of Hinds County. So when we're talking about current projects or projects to come or contracts to come, looking ahead, not signing contracts, at the spur of the moment, that kind of thing, getting the people involved in their opinions, in their wants and their likes and dislikes. There's so many ways to involve the community, involve the residents of Hinds County and District 5, that we're missing the boat if we don't use the power that we have there. So that connects us back to the accountability. So if we're in discussion, we're also being accountable. So we've got to connect all those dots. We've got to that's the only way forward. When some more of my background is working with a lot of city councilmen, councils, a lot of county supervisors, and getting things passed, getting things in place, bringing industry to their counties, to their cities, over 5 or 6 states that I've worked through. And so I've seen how they do it well, and I've seen how they don't do it well. And so I want to bring that experience to the table, bring that experience to Hinds County District 5, and through that, connecting the dots of how they did it better, and quit doing the things that doesn't help and focus our time on the things that do. So
that is great. It sounds like you have a really good plan for Hinds County. We definitely appreciate you for coming to the forum. And if you want to, you're more than welcome to stick around backstage. At the end of the show, I'm going to bring everybody back up on the stage just in case for a Q&A session. So you're more than welcome to hang around and come back a little later.
Great. I'll do it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And look, I did say Jonathan Pun. I didn't say Michael Pun, did I?
You did once. You said Jonathan, and then you said Michael, and then you. But yeah, it's Jonathan Pond.
I am so sorry. So everybody, it's Jonathan Pund. Please don't go looking for a Michael Pund on the ballot for District 5. It's Jonathan Pund. My apologies. It's been a long day.
I'm the only water pond on the ballot, so just look for Pond.
I like it. I like it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so we just heard from District 5 Supervisor candidate Jonathan Pund, not Michael Pund, Jonathan Pund. All right, next up, we're going to have Hinds County Election Commissioner candidate for District 2, Celestino Gordon Griffin. I probably butchered her name. I'm so sorry if I did. Charge it to my mind, my mouth, and not my heart. So let me bring her up. I'm going to give her a drum roll since I probably messed her name up. Come on up. How are you this evening?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much, Fabian, for having me. And it's actually Celestial. So you were close. You were close. You were very close.
Celestial. Okay, got it. All right. So, all right. Just if you can, just go ahead on and tell the voters of Hinds County District 2 why you are the best person for the job, and tell us what your platform is. And I'm going to turn it over to you. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fabian. Thank your team. I'm in kudos with Jonathan, with Mr. Pund. I thank you for this opportunity and for providing this platform, because we try to reach every voter. Even with knocking on every door, it's still hard to reach everyone. So I just want to start off by saying thank you for this opportunity. Yes, everybody, my name is Celestial Gordon Griffin. I am a native Jacksonian and proud Hinds County resident. My motto, guys, is strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in times to come. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. That's Proverbs 31, 25, and 26. I am a graduate of Callaway High School and Tougaloo College. Yay. I am the daughter of Bishop L.B. Gordon. Oh, whatever. Bishop L.B. Gordon and the late Peggy Gordon. And that's what my parents taught me, first and foremost, being kind. That's what our world is missing right now, kindness and love. I'm running for election commissioner because there are things that I feel need to change in the great state of Mississippi. I was born in Mississippi. God put me here for a reason, because there's a work that needs to be done, everybody. And it takes us doing it collectively. You know, we can't move a mountain individually, but if we got together, we probably could, really make a dent and get that mountain to where we need to, or either learn how to connect the chain together as residents and citizens of Hinds County and in the state of Mississippi, and get over that mountain. I am running for Hinds County Election Commissioner because I look at my children and I want them to have the Mississippi that I envision. The Mississippi that I envision is a progressive state. The Mississippi that I envision empowers everyone, not just the top 1%, not just the top 2%, but empowers everyone. And one thing I've learned is that the power starts with voting. We have to vote people in office who are like-minded, meaning that we share the same thoughts when it comes to progression and when it comes to opportunities that we want our children to have and our children's children to have. So I look at schools now, and schools don't really teach us. They don't really teach the great things that made us great citizens, right? So they don't really teach civics anymore. They don't talk about the voting, talk about voting and the responsibility that comes with voting and the rights that we have as a voter. So I remember in 1995 when I was going to Callaway High School, and I graduated in 95, and I couldn't wait to turn 18. I couldn't wait to exercise my right to vote because I had great teachers like Coach Permenter, who taught us about our civic duty, and that taught us about the Fannie Lou Hamers, the Medgar Evers, and the Bob Moses of the civil rights era, and that these people sacrificed so much for us to have the right to vote. So when I left Callaway, I couldn't wait to get registered. I got registered at school. I remember how great that was, and I couldn't wait to be 18 because I get to vote. And I think children are missing that, and I want to bring that back to them. But when I left Callaway, I went to Tougaloo, and I started working on campaigns, and I started my first voter registration drive. And I love getting people enthusiastic when it comes to voting. But I want to see where's the disconnect, because I can get you so excited on one end, but when it comes to election day, guys, we're falling short. So not only do I want to get you rallied to register to vote, I also want to get you just as pumped to get to the polls and vote. We're in Mississippi. We have voter restrictions and voter reform that needs to be changed across the board. But there are some things that we can do if we start using our right to vote, and especially electing good people in the office, holding them accountable. And let's start moving our state forward, guys. We can do it. We can change Mississippi. I felt so guilty because I was working for NACA as a community organizer and an activist, and I was in Georgia helping Senator Warnock get elected. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, why am I fighting so much for Georgia? I don't live in Georgia. I live in Mississippi. I could not wait to get home so I could start on our fight. And that's why I'm running for Hinds County Election Commissioner, guys. I'm not doing it for a title. I've been there, done that. I'm not doing it for the prestigiousness of the job. I'm not doing it for the salary. People don't really know. This is a part-time position that makes less than $15,000 a year. I'm doing it because I love voter education. I love promoting voter reform, and I love the state of Mississippi. And I want to see things change here in my state, the state that I call home, the state that God put me in. He put me here for a reason. So there's a work to be done. So it's time to stop talking about it, and it's time to start doing the work. And that's Celestial.
You know, that is great. You made some very, very good points. I was having a conversation. I do a lot of Facebook Lives and things to kind of engage with people. Mm-hmm. And what I told my viewers in that conversation is the most important person on the ballot. I asked them, I said, who do y'all think? And a lot of people were saying governor and senators and representatives and mayors. I said, no, the most important person on the ballot is the election commissioner. The election commissioners, I mean, you guys have to make sure we have fair elections. When it comes time for like you're talking about reform in regards to the electoral process or changing the laws in regards to voting and fair voting and disenfranchising voters, it's you guys that can come to legislators firsthand and say, hey, look, can you consider this? This is what we're seeing. So people underestimate the power of election commissioners. That is the most important part.
Fabian, I'm glad you said that. So when I first started talking about online voter registration, because it made no sense to me. You can order medicine, you can order food, you can order everything online, but you can't take 5 minutes to get registered to vote online. I had a meeting with Secretary Watson, and he told me that, Celeste, this doesn't fall under my umbrella. It falls under the legislators, right? So one person going to the legislators, they're not going to listen. But as an election commissioner, and with voters who voted for me and put me in this position, they'll have to stop and listen. And guess what? I'm the type that I don't take no for an answer. I am very persistent. I'm a Capricorn. So I work hard, I'm persistent, and I believe in getting the job done.
And that's it. And Secretary of State Michael Watts, he was correct. He was correct in the sense that he cannot do it. We have to, get the bills and make the laws and get the governor to sign the laws. But as the Secretary of State, you're a voice for the people.
You're a voice, exactly.
You're elected to be that voice. And as a Secretary of State, you can go and start talking to legislators and saying, hey, we need election reform. because
Mhm.
being the voice from the Secretary of State, you've been an election commissioner. When you guys come and talk to us, we have to listen.
We
You
have to
know,
listen.
elected officials are more likely to listen to other elected officials versus, you know, citizens. And I
Mhm.
mean, that's just the nature of it. I'm sorry for cutting it to your time, but
No, because guess what? I'm glad you said that. So I want people to know. So election day is Tuesday, guys, and you have to think about it. We have the chance and the opportunity to change Mississippi. So I want everyone, if you get a minute, go to my page. On my page is a Google site where you can click on that link. You'll see some more stuff about me, but most importantly, you can check to see where you're registered at, if your registration is active or inactive, because we know that some people, the voter list got purged a couple of weeks ago. So we want to make sure that you know your status before election day, because we don't want any hiccups, and we don't want you feeling frustrated. We don't want you getting tired and saying, I'm not going to vote, because that's what they want to. I'm not going to say they, but that's a tool that can be used against us when it comes to voting, because they want you to be discouraged. They don't want you active. They don't want you voting. So that's why we have to vote as if our lives depended on it, honestly, because a lot of things can change in the state of Mississippi, but we have to be brave enough and vote the right people in office to get these things done.
that is amazing. Can you do me a favor? It's time for us to move on to our next guest. Can you hang around, because I want to bring you back up, because we have you got a question and we got some more digging around to do about voter education. Can you hang out backstage for us?
I can hang out, yes.
That is great. So you are coming back, and I'm Jonathan Pun. Thank you. I see you backstage still. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you guys have any questions for Jonathan Pun, he's running for Supervisor District 5. Feel free to drop it. And in between breaks, we're going to bring everybody back up. So we'll see you just a moment. I'm going to put you backstage. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we just heard from two candidates that are running for office. The next guy that I am going to bring up is going to be none other than our Democratic nominee for Secretary of Agriculture, not Secretary, Commissioner of Agriculture. I'm sorry, get them too intertwined. But it's going to be Mr. Robert Bradford, and he's going to come and talk about his platform and kind of let us know why he is the best person for the job. So I'm going to bring him up. Here he is. All right. How are you doing, Mr. Bradford? All right, let's see.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Nelson?
I am doing great. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for joining us, man. You got to give me one of those hats. I see you with them all the time. I want one of them. Oh, you're breaking up a little. Let's see.
Well, yeah.
There we go. I think I can hear you now. So I got you. 10 minutes. I'm gonna turn it over to you to tell everybody why they need to go out and cast their vote for you. We need to know why you are the best guy for the job. All right.
I don't know if you can let me, but we're gonna, our technology is where we're gonna go.
You know what? You coming in and out. Look, that's why a big part of my platform was broadband expansion for the entire state of Mississippi. We struggle with it. Let's see. Y'all bear with us.
Bradford, I'm the Democratic nominee for a lot of years. As we look at this great state, the Mississippi Commissioner of Agriculture is responsible for 220 plus employees, roughly a $25.1 million budget. Also over 1,900 pieces of equipment that include real properties. As you know, the state fairgrounds, the Mississippi Ag and Forestry Museum, and another 8 agency that falls upon the Department of of Agriculture. I'm running because the whole community. As we're
breaking. Do this for me. Try to see if it turn your camera off, and it might come through a little clearer for us, because we can hear every bit of every.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Can you give it a shot now?
What about now? You hear me?
We can hear you good now.
Okay. Yeah. How much did y'all miss? Y'all missed everything, or you got some of it?
All we heard was Democrat nominee.
Oh man, we got to start over again. Yeah, we'll try to work with it. I know we got a lot of issues. I live out here in the country, man.
That's how it is.
I'm a fourth generation farmer from the Mississippi Delta. I reside here in. You hear me now?
I can. You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do it the old school way. I am gonna do this. I'm gonna call. I can call you, and when I call you, it'll I'm gonna give you a buzz on the phone, and they'll be able to hear you. So I'm gonna give you a buzz. Give me just a second. I'm so sorry we're having technical difficulties, but we're gonna make sure we get everybody covered. That's me calling you now.
Okay, I got you.
All right, there we go. Hey, can you?
All right, there we go. Hey, can you?
There we go. I got you muted. All right, can the listeners let us know if they can hear Mr. Bradford? Okay. Close there you go. Mute yours on yours. There we go. All right, can everybody hear us pretty loud and clear? All right, Mr. Bradford, we're ready to roll.
Okay, we sorry about the technical difficulty, but we're gonna work through those. As I say, I'm a fourth generation farmer from the Mississippi Delta. I spent 25 years a retired United States military officer. I went to one of the greatest universities, the Alcorn State University, where I majored in plant and soil science. I ain't gonna hold it over no Jackson State fans. So, we still HBCU. I reside here in Natchez, Mississippi. I'm the emergency management director, been there for 9.5 years. So I'm running for the Mississippi Department of Agriculture and Commerce because we have to involve the whole community. Agriculture is the number one industry in this great state, but a lot of people as they go around this state don't understand what vital role that they play in agriculture, or how everyday agriculture affects their everyday lives. There are only 12 states that elect their ag commissioners, and they are predominantly Republican. Normally, this is an appointed position because there's nothing political in agriculture when we're talking about feeding people. And as we look through this great state, we see a lot of food disparities, a lot of grocery stores shutting down. We see there's a lag between African-American farmers and white farmers. So we have to be able to involve the whole community. And my whole community plan involves education. We have to educate our youth because our farmers in Mississippi are older, and a lot of times they don't have anywhere to put their land once they die. So we're trying to educate our youth and make sure we use all our land in Mississippi. Mississippi have enough resource to be self-sustainable as far as the agriculture world. As we look at it, there are certain areas west of 55, the Mississippi Delta, that lacks participation amongst mostly African Americans. So we're going to try to build the economy through my whole community plan, and we're going to do that by strengthening and support in agriculture, education, and training for our young Mississippians at the lowest level. We got to get agriculture back into school and teaching these young generation where their food come from, because as I traveled over this state campaigning, I asked most of my youth where their food come from. They give me two choices. They tell me Walmart and McDonald's. That's a problem. We got to make sure that our youth understand where agriculture comes in. And the way we do that is my whole community plan is going to assist community gardens. urban agriculture development throughout Mississippi. So as these communities, talking with our local mayors and our supervisors, when they're putting in these parks, we want to encourage them to start planting fruit trees, pecan trees, apple trees, and some type of fruit so our kids can understand where that produce come from. Also, we're going to start incorporating greenhouses in the areas so our youth can be able to see greenhouses, to be able to understand where their food come from, and also be able to identify the types of food that we grow here in the great state of Mississippi. We're going to bring the medical cannabis program back up under the Mississippi Department of Agriculture umbrella. Right now, there's a lot of economic boost to that. We just got to make sure that we do and have a great program that suffices our medical cannabis community and make sure they have all the necessary tools and laws that we can be able to open that up to another section of the state where they can be more proactive. We also we're going to promote the study of a new hemp pilot program and solar farming practices. So we're going to do all that through grants because the President Biden and the Ag Secretary Vilsack has a lot of money, billions of dollars of money that put in agriculture. We just got to tap into that. And one thing I'm going to do, we're going to establish an agriculture disaster response division to support all farmers, ranchers, agriculture communities during disaster, because we know that this state has a lot of disasters and most people that's not farmers don't understand when this happens. And a lot of our farmers, that's all they have. So they're normally tied into disasters, and that's their way of living. And what that does is that when we have disasters, that causes our food prices to go up. It is also regulate through the CPI Consumer Price Index that they look at while grocery prices go up, the demand for it. So we're going to make sure that Mississippi have those resources in play that we can, during disasters, our food prices won't go up. Or if we got stores that's price hiking, we'll be able to identify those and make sure that the customers are being treated fairly. We're going to utilize USDA funding. Currently, the Department of Agriculture, they utilize some, but we're going to make it fair because we want to make sure that it's fair across the board when these contracts comes up, because there's a lot of contracts that come to the Ag Department that a lot of minorities don't get. So we're going to even the playing field in that. We're going to solidify the accountability efforts of the agency assigned all the purchase equipment, even with the state fair. We're going to make sure the state fair is treated fairly. We're not going to treat the state fair as a personal entity because we know that that's state property. We want to make sure all our kids can go to the state fair and be safe. We're not going to demonize any race, creed, or color due to that background. So we're going to open that up. We're also going to incorporate additional training, preparedness goals, exercise that overall increase the agency readiness. So we're going to make sure that our agency, this state agency, reaches out to all those communities. Whatever your community is, you're going to play a vital part in that agriculture and make sure we tap into these federal funds and build the economic development that a lot of these communities need. So on November the 7th, I'm asking you guys to go out and support a farmer, support a veteran, support an emergency manager that knows and understands disasters, that have a great plan for the Ag Department, that we can come into your community and make sure we have safe food and make sure it's just fair to everyone. So I thank y'all.
All right, Mr. Bradford, that is just absolutely amazing. We appreciate you. And what I do want to do is, since we're having technical difficulties, so now and prior to election, I want to do another one with you, just an exclusive, just me and you, just do a quick video so that, we can, so that you can have a chance to have your face seen as well, have your face in the place.
Hey, that'll work, man. Just shoot me a text and we can get that done. I'll be in my office. I'm at home now, so it's kind of rough out here in the country.
Look, I definitely understand it. And look, we appreciate you for taking your time to come on board and kind of let the voters know why to vote for you. And you have a great evening. We appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
All right, no problem. All right, goodbye. All right, so we are back. Look, when we have technical difficulties, we always find a way to navigate. Look, we got this phone. Like I said, the old school way works. I call him, put him on speakerphone so that we can get him in here. But that is why broadband expansion was one of my platform issues. It doesn't make any sense that, some parts of the state, we don't have broadband access, and we really need broadband access for every single person. All right. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments so that we can make sure our candidates answer these questions for you. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to be moving on down the line. Next up, we are going to have none other than our candidate for Public Service Commission for the Central District. He is our current commissioner, and it's none other than Brent Bailey, seeking re-election. He's coming in to tell us why he is the person and the candidate that you need to vote for. So we are going to welcome him to the show and bring him on up here. And there we go. Look, I hope he is ready. So Commissioner Bailey. Oh, you're ready. That's what I'm talking about. Look, you're not like some of us. We're on Zoom meetings. We're just logged in, but we're not there. We're on the other side of the house somewhere.
Well, hopefully, I appreciate it, Mr. Fabian. I hope you're able to hear us okay. And if any audio gets off, I'm on wireless. I'm not at home, as you might can see. I'm working tonight. I'm on the road, speaking to a group tomorrow. So if things get out of kilter, just let me know. I'll kill the camera, and hopefully the voice side of it will continue on flawlessly.
You know what? It sounds great. We can hear you and we can see you fine. If it starts breaking up or anything, I'll let you know, and we make it work around here. So I'll let you know, but I'm going to let you take it away. You got 10 minutes to tell the voters why they need to come out and vote for you and whatever else you want to share with us.
Well, I appreciate it. And I'll try not to take you whole 10 minutes. I know it's getting late in the evening and you probably still have a few other folks to jump on there. And it's certainly good hearing from everyone else. The others have ambitions to serve their communities. And it's been my privilege, my honor to serve the Central District, the 22 county region of Central Mississippi for nearly the last 4 years as your Public Service Commissioner. This is something that I've been passionate about, been working toward this role for many years. Just for those folks that may not know me, particularly, I'm from Carthage, Mississippi, grew up in Leake County, 6th generation Mississippian from both sides of the family, all from Leake County. So Central Mississippi has always been my heart and soul. And it's been, like I said, working across all lines to represent individuals, consumers, ratepayers the best we can to ensure the rates that they pay are just and reasonable, the service is adequate, reliable, and that in the PSC, we also review and certificate any infrastructure and new facilities that are coming or being built in the state to ensure those are in the public interest. They create a net benefit for consumers. They add to the sustainability of our energy delivery system, and they create and provide long-term benefits for Mississippi. So a lot of work we've been doing. You have mentioned broadband several times in this, and I know others have had challenges in that. While the Public Service Commission does not regulate broadband, we do have a role in reviewing the plans of carriers from their plans of providing the prior year and providing their build out for the next year, and reviewing those through the FCC checklist, and then approving those plans they have. We can't alter them, we can't amend them, but we approve them, and it allows them to continue drawing in those federal dollars and investing in deployment of broadband across the state of Mississippi, particularly the Central District in our case. We do have a new Office of Broadband, the BEAM office that is in place, and it's their role and responsibility. And we work closely with them, direct folks to their website, their offices. If they have issues and want to share, hey, my address does not have adequate service, get my address plugged in so we can direct resources in that direction. So it's always good to work with those agencies in that. And hopefully when you're in the legislature starting January 2nd, 3rd, wherever in there, keep that as part of your platform, because while we have a lot of resources that have come into the state, we're going to be expending them in due time. It's still going to be a multi-year process, and there's still going to be a need for more resources to continue to leverage, incentivize, and invest in rural areas of Mississippi to get that done. We've also been very proactive in protecting consumers from scam calls, robocalls, doing the investigation and providing that information of what we find from those scammers, from those fraudulent telemarketers, and provide that information to the Attorney General's office. However, as of this year, the Attorney General's office will be responsible for all of that. But we had a very dedicated staff. We worked hard, and for the sake of efficiency and putting everything under one roof, the legislature decided in the best interest to allow that Attorney General's office to fully do all those types of things. But we continue to this day to work with AG's office and others when we get customer complaints in, and direct them to the proper agencies on that. We also make sure that the PSC, some of the things we've done, we've also returned $300 million to ratepayers last summer, in fact, when we discovered some of the activities and accounting, some of the accounting practices have been going on for multiple years within the Entergy Corporation component with sector and their oversight of Grand Gulf, which is System Energy Resources at the corporate level, and some of the tax advantages they had given theirself, I guess you could say. We went back and recovered that, and we returned those back to consumers in the form of cash rebates, credits, and other freezes of rates and pay down of other unrecovered rate components to give significant relief, not just last year, but over the next 4 years. And people continue, and customers continue to see the benefits of those actions as well. But we also talk about other things we're doing, continue to improve and bolster and lift up the reliability and resiliency of not just our transmission system, but also of our distribution system. And that comes with bringing customer call centers back to the state of Mississippi to ensure that those folks who pick up the phone, they know the difference between the towns within Mississippi and not just reading from a form or a script. They understand they're Mississippians, they know their friends, their neighbors, and they're going to be a much better resource for those that do have issues and complaints. But you can always call our office. One thing we do is handle complaints very well. We have a full dedicated staff to work with folks if there's issues. We always hope there's not those things in place, there's not issues, but we want to be sure that we continue to get folks there. As you well know, we love to get out. We travel the district, been across all 22 counties multiple times over the last 4 years. And as part of that, one of the things we've just wrapped up was several community forums around the state or around the central district. We had 2 in the metro area. We had one in Vicksburg, Greenville, Meridian, and meant to have one in Port Gibson, but there was a snafu with the venue and that had to get canceled, and hopefully we can get that back online shortly. But I tell you what, you were at the Jackson one at the East Center, and I hope you found that event beneficial. You came away with a better understanding what the Public Service Commission does, what our roles and responsibilities are, and even what our limitations are as far as regulators. I like to tell folks the Public Service Commission is the most important elected position they probably know the least about. And even though we regulate a lot of different things, we have a daily impact on folks' lives, whether it's the household budget impact from the bills, but also ensuring the quality, resiliency, and adequacy of service to keep your lights on, to keep you warm, bathed, fed, sewer, and of course, natural gas and other matters along those lines. So there's a lot of things that we do that I think a lot of folks don't understand. But we continue every day to review these different matters. I'm involved in several aspects nationally, locally, regionally, even nationally. I represent the state of Mississippi on our OMS, the Organization of MISO States, which is the 17 regulator member committee that oversees the operational aspects of our transmission infrastructure throughout the center part of the state. We're also involved with a lot of different other national events, whether it's from review and the adequacy of our nuclear fleet, how energy resources impact the environment, and then also how critical infrastructure is valued and reinvested in and protected from physical and cybersecurity impact measures. So we have a lot of things going on at the Public Service Commission, and it's been just a wonderful opportunity. I've been in this sector, in the energy sector, being an advocate for consumers, promoting various technologies, energy efficiency, distributed generation, these customer-facing means of returning value back to consumers. Been doing that for almost 15 years prior to coming to PSC. I'm asking folks to please return me to the Public Service Commission, allow me to continue working for them. I believe I demonstrated that I have the knowledge, the experience, the drive. We have put out nearly 190 something consecutive newsletters from our office since the day we walked in the door, weekly newsletters that are, I believe, very informative. They relay the things that we do out of the office in the Public Service Commission, from filings to decisions to orders, on a weekly basis. And we identify certain topics that I think are helpful for consumers to understand the things we do. So, I know we're probably getting close to 10 minutes there, give others the opportunity to share, but, it's been my pleasure to continue to work, fight, and win for ratepayers in Central Mississippi, whether it's holding utilities accountable, whether it's keeping rates low. In fact, our rates, we have the 13th lowest rates in the nation. And that comes from the diligence and work to keep reviewing the issues that are ahead of us. I need to read a big filing that we have due at FERC on Friday. And it's a lot of study. It's really digging down to the nuts and bolts of what can be very complicated, multi-generational investment issues. Power plants last for 40, 60, 80 years. We got to be sure that whenever we're investing in those, we're doing the right thing. We're serving the public and understanding how that's going to create opportunities for investment for commercial, industrial, as well as serving every day our residential customers and making sure they're being considered fairly in all decisions that we make at the Public Service Commission. So I appreciate your time, Mr. Fabian, on this opportunity to share with you. If there's any questions that pop up, please have folks answer me. To reach out. I'll hang on for a little while. I don't know how much longer I can. I got, like I said, some things I really need to attend to as the evenings wears on. But it's been my privilege and honor. I would love the opportunity to continue representing the Central District. I'm asking you to please return me to office. Let me continue to work for you. I think I've demonstrated responsiveness and openness. You can call me any time of the day or night, because it does happen, and I'll be more than happy to respond and keep things going. Let you know that you do have a consumer advocate at the Public Service Commission.
Right. Well, Commissioner Bailey, thank you so much, for your time and for, coming on the show and kind of letting everybody know, why it is so important. If you want to, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, hang out. If there are any questions or anything, I'll bring you back up. So if anybody have any questions, please drop them down. We'll bring you back up. We appreciate your time.
Put them in the chat, and I'll be happy to hit it in the meantime. If anybody needs our contact information, if they have a question, be more than happy to put that in there as well.
That'll be great. And go ahead on and drop your contact information over in the chat box as well. And thank you for your time. Look, safe travels. I know you're traveling. Safe travels, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Appreciate you as well. All right. So we just heard from Brent Bailey, which is our current Public Service Commissioner for the Central District. He is seeking re-election, and he just told us why we need to go out and vote for him. And so our next candidate coming up, now this next candidate coming up, this one is very, very passionate to me, because she is a representative for the House of Representatives, which is what I, just recently ran for. And like I said, I'm not endorsing any candidates, but I do have to brag on candidates when, I have to brag on candidates and tell the truth. And this young lady has worked so hard every single morning when I get on Facebook. She's trying to outdo me. All my constituents tell me that they see me every time they get on Facebook. But when I get on Facebook in the morning, I see her stand on the corner waving with her sign. I'm getting a little bit jealous. So y'all might see me live on the corner in the morning with my sign waving, asking for votes. But I have to give credit where credit is due. And she has worked so hard. And when we have a candidate that's working very hard, speaking from personal experience, when we have a candidate that's working very hard on the campaign trail, when we elect these people to office, they work even harder once they're elected, because they appreciate the hard work that they put into getting in office. So we're going to bring over none other than Mississippi House of Representative candidate for District 86, Anita Bonner. And I hope I pronounced her name right. I've been slaughtering names all day. How you doing?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Look,
You know, it is so funny. I always get a message back. Hey, we seen you on the corner with your sign. Keep up the good work. And you know what? That is extremely encouragement to me because I'm running it against someone that's been in office for 8 years and an incumbent. And sometimes, you know, it's tough because they have name recognition. But I'm doing my best each and every day to let people know that I'm about being accountable, transparent when it comes to being in this position. And I just kind of jumped in and started talking. My name is Anita Bonner, running for House Representative for District 86. And one of the big things that I want to do, I guess because I'm just excited. I'm excited too.
it's okay. It's okay. I like it. We need the energy.
And one of the biggest things I want to do for my community or for the district is to have committees. See, these committees will be generated so that we can know what's going on. One thing that is really important when we are serving our communities is to know who we are serving. And the only way to get to do that is we create committees so they can report back in and know what is going on. When we don't have those connections, how do we know what to go and fight for our district for? Because we know that 86 is a piece of a whole pie, right? But however, in that pie, we need certain things. So my job is to create committees, and we're gonna meet before section and also after session, so they can know what we was able to get in. And also, I think it's important when people know that you are taking the time to hear from them. That makes a difference. Not ignore them and act like they do not exist or you do not need their vote, but letting them know, like, you know what, I am standing on your shoulders, and it's in no way that I can do this alone. So that's my biggest thing. I'm standing on their shoulders, and we're standing together so we can make a better District 86. And that is one of the biggest things that I want to do for my district.
All right. So got a question for you. All right. So can you tell our viewers where what encompasses District 86, like the, geographical location
Well,
of it?
that is Wayne County, all of Wayne County. Go War Eagles. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay. And then we have Perry County. I don't have all of Perry County. I have Richton. So I have this nice little block in Richton. And then I have Greene County, which goes up to Knobbtown. And I've noticed that when I'm out there knocking on doors, or if I'm going to different events, people always ask me, what is District 86? I'm like, wait a minute. So you telling me you've never heard of District 86? It's like, no, we know what sheriff race is or the mayor race, but what is District 86? And I'm like, well, we have made the policies and procedures that is put in place for the rules and regulations that we follow over the entire state. And not being educated on that. When I told them, it been in existence since the state been in existence. So, these things, it's been important to be able to educate people, to let them know, like, and empower them, to let them know, like, okay, this is something that you might not know, but guess what? Let me walk you through it so you can know more about it. So when you see these things on a ballot, or you want to know why these policies and procedures are created, this is where it comes from. So empowering people with information, that makes a difference when they go to the ballot box. And that's the goal. We want to push our constituents to the ballot box to vote on November 7th for us over here in District 86.
All right. Hey, I have another question that just came in via email for you. It says, what will you do differently than the incumbent?
Well, basically, one is to show up. The person that's currently in has not, been in the community, letting the people know who they are, what they do. But it has been systematically, really, because since the existence of this position, because I will be an African-American woman that is running for this office. And by winning, I'll be basically making history. So by doing it, I want to create an opportunity to create balance and help us to be inclusive. Because if we work together, we play together, it's important to have good policy, because good policy works for everybody.
That's it. That's it. And you know, as as a representative or as an elected official, we have to make sure that we're representing every single person, and we're not only representing only one group, because our districts are diverse. So, so that's
Absolutely.
very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
Because
right.
when we don't do that, we keep our district divided. And that's something that we don't want to do. I know for Mississippi, I know for District 86, it is so much division and misinformation that has been passed down a pipeline. And I feel by showing that when we have this seat at the table, that you can see like we are in this thing together. Just because we don't look alike does not mean that we cannot help make good policies and procedures. And that's why I want to push and show, you know what, in my first, I know, like, you know, when you first get into office, I can't make any promises that I'm gonna magically make this happen. But however, I will keep you informed, I will keep you engaged, and we'll be working together.
That's it. That's it. Look, like I told everybody, I'm so passionate about your race because you know I see a lot of things that I said and a lot of things I did. You know, I see that in you, and it's the same seat. And I'm gonna tell you, in the House of Representatives, we don't get much love. You know, people don't understand. You know what it is that we do, but it's so
Absolutely.
important when we talk about policy, when we talk about laws, when we talk about
Yes.
you know all of this. But that's where it starts. The state legislature, where everything starts for
Absolutely.
everybody to do their jobs, municipalities, our commissioners, and you know all of that. So
Yeah, and we have
it's
to work
so
together.
important. Yeah,
And,
we do.
and
So
you know, like we know right now in the House of Representatives, it's a supermajority of Republican. So anything that's being passed out, it has to be bipartisan, because if not, it's not going to go through. And I want to show that, you know, when we have good policy and it makes sense and we work together, we can make changes in our district and we can also make changes in our state. But we have to be ready to work together. And with the new faces that are coming in, I am confident that we'll be able to make changes. So we are praying for victory over here in District 86, because I want to be in that change that is coming up in the next 4 years.
you know what? And that's absolutely right. I am you know, I'm so excited, you know, going to the caucus meetings now and seeing the new people that are getting elected and you know to the
Yes.
legislature and everybody's energetic, everybody's fired up like okay, we're getting ready to make some changes around here. And so, you know, it's a good feeling. It is a
I
good feeling.
know.
So tell the voters what they need to do.
Guys, let me tell you something. What I need you to do is share the word. You can go to my website at www.anita486.com. There you will find my email address, my phone number, and how to contact me. And if you would like to volunteer by doing phone banking, and hey, if you want to go door knock with me, we come on, we'll take you on. And guess what? You'll get one of these handy dandy shirts, Elect Anita for House Representative. As we go around, guys, I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of long nights, and guys, I cannot do it without you. So, if you would like to join the campaign, appreciate it. Again, make sure that you Anita, ANNITA 4FOR86. Where you can find information on how you can support this campaign, guys. And thank you so much for listening. I'm so excited. And we are claiming victory on November the 7th.
That's right, victory. Drop your information in the comment box down. It's just, you know, so when people see it, they'll all have it there. Right. So we are getting ready to have we're getting ready to have a lot of fun right now. So our last candidate, Wanda Evers for Hinds County Supervisor District 4, she's under the weather, so she's not going to make it. We're waiting on Greta Kemp Martin. I think she's going to come on in just a little while. So while we're waiting on Greta to come on, we're going to bring everybody back on for a Q&A session.
Okay.
Hang tight. So we're going to add everybody that's stuck around back on the stage back here. All right. Is everybody ready and available for Q&A?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, hey, all of our viewers, drop your questions over there in the box and we will get to it. All right. So, let's see. I had some questions that came in from viewers in the email. The first one is for Jonathan Fund, and it is, what previous experiences do you have that makes you qualified for the job?
Yeah, I know I was first in line, so some people might not have been on when I was talking about that, but so with my current job that this position will replace, is I've worked over the last 11 years for a distribution company, and I've in the position that I've been in, director of operation and director of sales. It's been my responsibility to work with a lot of city council and a lot of county supervisors to get our distribution into their city and into their county, or see if it's even right for them, right? Or some of them that was wanting to get it out, to go over that anyway, to work with them to, so on a county level and on a city level, supervisor level, and I've seen the ins and outs of that a lot. I've seen the red tape side. I've seen the budgeting side. I've seen all these, the ins and outs about that. So I've never been a supervisor, but I've walked hand in hand with a lot of them, been through a lot of things over, probably 5 states, multiple cities and counties and all that, and parishes in Louisiana, to work with that level of leadership. And so I've seen behind the curtain. So that's my experience that I'm bringing to the table, making it better for the county, for the city. In this instance, I'm going to, bring all that knowledge to the table for the county, for District 5, to make it better, to make it somewhere we're proud to live, somewhere we want to be, to bring the right improvements to the county, and not just something to say we did something, but the right improvements.
Right, sounds great. All right. Next question is for Mrs. Gordon. The question is, what will you do as the election commissioner to increase voter turnout in Hinds County?
Wow, great question. We talked about that a little bit. So having the voter registration drive, getting people excited, getting them registered to vote. So we have to look at how the disconnect between getting you registered and getting you to the actual polls. So we have to cut out all excuses, right? So we have One Voice, we have Mississippi Votes, we have Black Voters Matter, we have a band of churches that's been getting together. So there are no hindrance, guys. If you need rides to the polls, let me know. We will have that furnished for you. If you can't stand in the line and you have issues, we're going to have poll workers that will come out to you to help assist you with voting. We're just going to take away the excuses, and we want to make it where it's easy to get in and easy to get out. Then we also going to make sure that people know who's on the ballot. If you come prepared, guess what? That cuts down your time tremendously. So you need to know who the candidates are. So I plan on having more of an interactive office where the residents of District 2, and not just residents of District 2, anybody in Hinds County, if you want to know about the elections and what's going on and who's on the ballot, let me know. That's my job. That's what I'm here for. Make sure you have all the education that you need as a voter, and to help you navigate through that long day, because y'all know that's the long 12 hours. That long day. Make sure you have everything you need. And if we get you prepared for it. So it's great to see sample ballots beforehand. We can start doing mailers for those. Like, hey guys, we have an election coming up. these are your candidates. Start studying, start researching these candidates so you know and you're making an informed vote. And so when you go into the polls on election day, you just go in, shade down who you already decided to vote for, enter it in, and guess what? That gets you in and that gets you out. But we're going to take away the excuses. I told you, I'm a Capricorn. So one thing I have is determination, and I have a great work ethic. And I plan. I believe in planning. Because what they say, poor preparation leads to what? Come on, y'all. Exactly. I hear you saying it. So if we make sure that all the I's have been dotted, all the T's are crossed, elections in Mississippi will go much smoother. But we know we have a great checks and balance system already. The election commissioners that are there, they've been doing a phenomenal job. We can't take anything away from anybody. Even previous administrations have done a phenomenal job. So we want to keep that going. And then we want to also engage technology as much as we can. So if we're up on the growing trends and we know how things are changing constantly with technology, we want to make sure that people know, hey, bring in your ID. We can scan your ID, and guess what? It goes straight to your information. All we have to do is give you a ballot and check you off. So we have to stay up on the time and keep our people informed and keep our people well educated. And voting in Mississippi will be a smooth task.
Love it. Okay, got another question here. And I'm going to cheat on this one. This is a question for me. But I am going to pass it over to Anita. So the question is, Representative-elect Fabian Nelson, how are you going to navigate through the state capitol, being that it's a trifecta, Republican-controlled House of Representatives, Senate, and a Republican governor? Well, we're not going to have a Republican governor soon. But how are you going to navigate and get legislation passed?
Wow. Go on, baby, and just claim it.
We're going to go ahead and claim it.
I did not hear all the questions. I think my internet might be going out. I'm in a rural area, so please forgive me. But I think I got the gist of it, that you will want to know basically how are we going to work together to get legislation passed when we know that there's a supermajority of Republican, and how do we work together? I mean, with anything, we have to build relationships across the aisle. I'm not saying to sell out your morals or values to get things done, but I think when we sit down together and we have good policies, come up with good policies and good procedures, I think that we can work to get them passed. I think that by doing that, I think we'll be helping breaking the mold, as so many times that we see is them versus us, when it should just be us, because we are Mississippians and we should want to see the best for our Mississippians. And I think individuals that understand that when we thrive, Mississippi thrives. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to work together and get good policies and procedures that works for everybody.
Oh, Fabian, I love her answer. That's what I'm talking about. We have to work together. It's only one Mississippi, guys. One
That's
Mississippi.
right.
We
That's
have
right.
to work together. We will never get anywhere. And I hate it that when a tragedy happens, like a hurricane or floods, we come together then. Guys, we should be together all the time.
Right.
We shouldn't have parties that divide us and we are always separate, but we still not equal. We're one Mississippi. It's like, and Fabian, I'm sorry, Anita, I got all the girl, you inspired me. I just got all of your questions. But it's like when I go other places, right? And I tell people I'm from Mississippi, people have such a negative connotation of Mississippi. I tell them all the time, don't knock it till you try it. Come to Mississippi. We have some of the greatest people of all races, all colors, all creed. We have nothing but love. Most Mississippians are the kindest people you see in this world. You go other places, sometimes they're very rude. And that's not how we were raised. We lead in love and we lead in kindness. So we represent Mississippi. It's only one Mississippi. That's right, Anita. I'm sorry, Fabian. I'll be
That's
quiet.
it. No, it's all good. One thing about it is there is more that unites us than divides us. And
That's
so we have
right.
to find common ground.
That's right.
I talk to a lot of people. The issues that we have with political parties is we make nonpartisan issues partisan issues. We really need to focus on what's going to improve the quality of life for our citizens.
Right.
That's
And
right.
so with these issues, they affect us all, at the same level. And we have to work together. And we can't say, well, I'm not going to work with the Republican Party. I'm not going to work with the Democrat Party. We have to work
Exactly.
for our people because we're elected to
That's
represent.
right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And that's
Well,
why I ran independent.
that's
And
it,
I'm telling you guys,
and
Jonathan,
I
kudos
think
for
with the
you.
new group of representatives that's coming in, they're positive, and I think that a new, I think barriers will be broken down in this term, because it's so many new faces, so many great ideas, and people that understand about serving. And one thing I share this with people, and I used to live out at one time in my life. I used to live in a shelter with my son, who is now a student at Tougaloo College. And I want to show that even though Tougaloo, and even though someone who was in a shelter got their degree, associates and bachelors and masters, you can see the dynamic and change and show that people that may have to use social services, they're not lazy, they just need opportunity. So I want to show that even as a woman that being in a situation like that, let me tell you something. I know what it means to work. I know what it means to work together. I know what it means to believe in yourself and believing in each other and working together. And if we are really there to serve, I'm telling you, change will happen.
Change what happened.
have to start electing public servants into office, people that are going to serve the public. That's the only way we're going to get the change. And
It's true.
I'm so inspired because I've seen so many candidates with servant hearts this time getting elected, and that's what it's all about to really change our state.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go around. We're going to give your closing spiel. So one at a time. So we're going to start with Ms. Gordon, Mr. Pund, Ms. Bonner, and Mr. Bailey afterwards. And so y'all can give y'all's closing spiel. And this is the final pitch for the voters. Get it.
Well, thank you again, Fabian, and thank your team. And it is so nice to meet you, Jonathan. I've met Mr. Crawford, but it's nice to meet you too, Anita. I pray that you guys have nothing but success. Guys, we know things start and it ends with voting. We have to vote. On November 7th, I'm asking for your vote, your support, and your prayers. And I ask you to make the right choice, because I'm going to give you nothing but my absolute best. My name is Celestial Gordon Griffin. I am running, and I will be your next Hinds County Election Commissioner, District 2. And we're going to bring change, and we're going to bring innovation, and we're bringing enthusiasm to an office that can stand a little bit push and fight, so we can go and get online voter registration and start working on voter reform and change the things that need to be changed to move Mississippi forward and keep Mississippi progressive. Thank you.
All right. So if it's me next, right? So, at the end of the day, I think common sense plays into a large factor of the supervisor position. So that's been my tagline, is bringing common sense back to the budget and back to District 5, the leadership of District 5 of Hinds County. So, when you go to the polls, vote Pond for common sense. So, vote Pond for District 5, Hinds County supervisor. And, real quick, touching on the servant thing that you were just talking about, Fabian, was at the end of the day, I went to JCM, Jackson College of Ministries, and although it's closed now, it was in Jackson. And, the servant leadership is so important. And if we can't serve, we shouldn't lead. It goes hand in hand. So, you know, we've got to be here for the people. And if not, then we shouldn't be here. We should just move on and figure out something else. So, I'm excited about working for the people of District 5, and I'm looking forward to you coming out and voting. You know, bring your family, bring your friends, get the word out. Continue to. We've got 6 days now, 5 days until the vote. So we're right here on it. So my information is on my cards as well, phone number, email, and all that stuff. So if anybody has any more questions, I've got a Facebook page. You know, look me up, ask me questions. I've had a lot of people ask for signs and door hangers and all that kind of stuff to help me out. So I appreciate everybody helping. And again, vote Pond, Jonathan Pond.
And Jonathan, if you can, go on in the comments, drop all of your information in the chat so that people have it as
Okay.
well. They can
All
see.
right.
Thank you so much.
Guys, I want to close with it's all about accessibility. It's about accountability, and it's about transparency. And when you have all those things together, we have good servant leaders. And that is my goal. That is how I plan to serve District 86. It would not be sloganized. It will be in action what I do. You will have receipts. You will see me in the community. You'll be transparent on what the policies and procedures that has been passed. And you know what? Guess what? We'll be working together. So on November the 7th, when in District 86, we need you to go to the polls and vote Anita Bonner for your next House of Representative. I want y'all to hear me say it now. For your next House of Representative, I am committed to serve. And thank you so much, guys. And please note, if you want to assist, you can go to my website at www.annita486.com. Again, that is www.annita486.com.
Make sure you drop all your information in the comments so that everybody can see it down there. So much. All right, so we have Commissioner Bailey to give his closing remarks now.
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate it so much. Thank you for the opportunity to join you this evening. I hope through our conversation, folks learned a little more about what the Public Service Commission does. You know, I certainly have a passion for this role. I've enjoyed serving the community, serving the residents of the Central District, all 22 counties. And I think I have a proven track record of success and openness, responsiveness, ability to be reached and respond to issues that are out there. We want to continue working with folks. We're going to diversify energy resources. We're going to continue to get broadband investment in the state. We're going to continue holding utilities accountable and doing what's necessary and win on the path for ratepayers. I simply believe that, you know, I want to continue to fight for affordable, reliable services. I think the choice is clear, and we hope for your UC to reelect me on November 7th. And we're going to continue working for the working families of the Central District. And I would just love the opportunity to continue working with you in the legislature next year, and being a consumer advocate and people's champion here in the Central District. Thank you for the time.
So much. We definitely appreciate you. Just want to take time just to thank every single candidate that came on our show this evening. You guys, it's 9:30. And so my hat goes off to every single person. They all came on, they stuck around to answer questions and give feedback as to why they're the perfect person for the job. Thank all of our viewers for tuning in. Hey, please tune in tomorrow. We're going to be live on the air at 6:00 p.m. on WMPR, as well as streaming live. We appreciate all of you guys. It's time for me to get out of here and get some rest. I will see you in the morning. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank all of our candidates. And please, whatever you do, get out and vote on November 7th. So that's next Tuesday. Polls are open 7 to 7.
Hello and welcome to the moment that you have all been waiting for. The special edition of the Reliable Representation Talk Show Political Edition. This evening, we will hear from several candidates that are placing their bid to serve the great people of Mississippi and Hinds County. Tune in, ask questions so that you can make an informed decision about who will be representing you next year and the years to come. Live from Studio 66 is your favorite host, Fabian Nelson.
Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances.
Hello and welcome to the moment that you have all been waiting for. The special edition of the Reliable Representation Talk Show Political Edition. This evening, we will hear from several candidates that are placing their bid to serve the great